You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Sunday the 25th of May 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And I did genuinely intend to do a podcast yesterday, but unfortunately I just had a bit of a rubbish evening and it just didn't get round to it. I just was so tired. So I spent most of yesterday with my friend who lives in London. It was a really nice day. We went to, we actually caught the ferry, or whatever it's called, from Kew Gardens to Westminster, which was great. It was an awful lot of fun. Got to see I got to see things that I knew existed, but hadn't seen them from that angle, like a Battersea Power Station and stuff like that. It was just really nice. It took about an hour and a half. Very high tide, to the point where the cabin that the pilot was sitting in actually had to be dismantled around him to get under the bridge because the bridge was so high, because the tide was so high. So literally as we approached, they took it down. I mean, he was obviously still had all his controls and stuff, but the little cabin bit, literally they lifted the roof off and then folded the sides down, and that was good fun. And then we went to the London Transport Museum in Covent Garden? No, not Covent Garden. Yeah, maybe it's Covent Garden. Yeah, where the market is. And the reason we did that was we did a London Underground tour earlier in the year, and because we'd done that, it was 50% off to get into this. So it was good. No, some of the old kit, some of the old trams, and even the horse-drawn trams and stuff from the 1880s. Absolutely wonderful, just really cool to look at. So really, really enjoyed that. We had a lovely dinner at a fish restaurant, and it was just a really, really nice day. And I decided, because I had an early start at work the next morning, I kind of decided not to go home, but to stay at a hotel at Heathrow. And I got there I was coming up to 9 o'clock. And there was nowhere for me to park. So I had to improvise parking at the last minute, at which point, by the time I got to the hotel, I was so tired. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so it didn't even cross my mind to do the podcast. And then I woke up this morning and thought, I didn't do the podcast, oh well. And it was too late by then. And there isn't that much to say. I haven't done any writing. I'm actually probably, there's a chance I'm not even going to hit my the chapter target I'd set myself for the end of this month. I'm not going to let it worry me, because I've got till the end of July I'm not working, so my aim for July is to probably finish Empress second draft, and then make a start on the first draft of the sequel to Still Life, which is called Blank Canvas. And I'm quite enthusiastic about that, because I was discussing, my friend yesterday is another one that's read Still Life, and she really enjoyed it. She thinks Sayward, the main character, is a bit of an arse. I think that's probably fair. But she really enjoyed it. She didn't see all the twists coming, which is good. There was one that I was hoping she had. There's one twist that I had written in a way that I wanted it to be obvious, not straight away, but before I actually reveal the twist, I wanted there to be enough clues to work it out. But then I think one of the she's actually not from the UK, so she's speaks English like it's her first language, but she's actually Slovakian. And I think so. There's clues about one character in some names I've chosen, and I think that's not something somebody who didn't isn't used to English names would have picked up on. So. But no, she really enjoyed it. But so it's got me thinking about what I want to do with book 2. And then the more I think about it, the more I realise what I've already written isn't that good. So I did reread the prologue, and I don't like it. And yeah, it's the things that happen in it need to happen, but it needs to be written from scratch. And then there's a whole other bit. I basically want to present Molly, one of the character that basically is from 1915. I want to present her as a little ray of sunshine in the world. So she's had this really difficult start in life. At the age of 17, everybody she knew effectively died, apart from one person who went from 7 to 70 in the blink of an eye. That's from her perspective. And she is going to be there to, her part in the story is she is going to help other people who are released from the paintings. And years will have passed for them. And so she's effectively going to help bring them, acclimatise them with the modern age, modern era. And she's going to be good at that. And there's something that my friend suggested, which I hadn't thought about, which is a good idea for a plot line or a little part of the plot in the second book. But yeah, so whereas in the first draft, the first chapter, I've got Molly in hospital having taken an overdose of pills. It's like, no, she wouldn't do that. She's too upbeat. She's too loved by the people around her. And she's going to offer so much to the world. So there is room for a character to get that miserable and do that, but it absolutely won't be her. So that needs rewriting. And yeah, so there's lots of ideas for things. I want Saywood to keep having nightmares about Rebecca's murder because Max Sosi literally played into her head his exact memories of what he did to her. So there's loads of... I'm quite looking forward to writing the second book. As I say, I know what the twists are. I've got to be so careful not to reveal them on here, but yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what people make of it. The other thing I found out from watching like old YouTube and Twitch streams, I wrote the first draft in 4 months, which is amazing, and I didn't significantly change it. That's about 40,000 words a month, maybe, yeah, about that. And there have been some minor alterations made and some, a character added here and there, so a few scenes added, but it really, yeah, I'm very pleased with it. So anyway, I'm going to try and I've kind of got the habit of doing this every single day. So I'm going to try and make June a month, which, every now and then I'll say, right, I'm going to do an episode every day. I'm going to try and make June one of those. July should be a no-brainer because I'm not working the entire month now. So I should be able to easily do something every day then. But June, just so I get into better habits than I've fallen into this month, I'm going to try and make sure there is an episode every single day. We shall see if that succeeds. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow from, hopefully, Venice in Italy. So, yeah, take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.